Hello guys, welcome back again to another tutorial. My name is Dorothy. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how I cut and sew this trouser or pants. If this is something you are interested in, watch this video to the end so you don't miss out on any explanation or detail. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you are new on this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of video. Okay, now let's get started with the video. I will be using this material for this tutorial. I don't really know the name of this material because I got this material from an OK Bill shop. So if you're living in Nigeria, you understand what I mean by that. I tried to get the name of this fabric from the seller. Even the seller did not know the name either. This fabric looked like the name, but it's not because this material is quite stretchy. So for those of us that we want to know the name of this material, me, I don't know too. So I'll go ahead and fold this fabric into two so we can draft the front pattern. I have folded the fabric into two, as you can see. To get the width of the fold, divide the hip measurement by 4 and add 2 inches or 3 inches for the crotch extension. Okay, then measure your desired trouser length, but you will remove 1.5 inches or 2 inches from the trouser length if you are sewing a waistband to the trouser. But if you are adding an elastic band, then you need to add 2 inches to the actual length of the trouser plus hemming allowance. The good thing about this pants that I'm about to make is I'll be doing the both here. That is, I'll be sewing a waistband to the front piece and I'll be adding elastic band to the back piece. So you'll be learning the two different methods here. So all you need to do is pay a very rapt attention so you grab what we're about to do. So I already take the length of the trouser, then I added 2 inches hemming allowance for the front piece and I'll be cutting it out. This is the portion we'll be working with for the front piece. Before I cut out this piece, I removed 2 inches from the actual length of this trouser. So to mark the crotch length, I'll be placing my measuring tape like this, taking away the 2 inches for the waistband. Then I came down by 8 inches for the crotch length measurement. Still leaving the measuring tape like this, I marked 12 inches for the nail length measurement. Then the length of the trouser is 21 inches and I added 2 inches for the hemming allowance. I'll be using my ruler to connect this point and marked horizontally. So here is the crotch line, the nail line and the length of this trouser. On the crotch line, I divided the hip measurement by 4 and I marked it. The hip measurement I am working with is 30 inches. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5 inches. I marked that, then I added half an inch sewing allowance to it. I marked the same hip measurement on the waistline. Usually, if you are drafting the pants without using an elastic band at all on the trouser, you will mark your waist measurement on the waistline. But because I'll be adding an elastic band at the back of the trouser, that's why I am using the hip measurement here. Now I will use my ruler to connect a straight line on this point and mark on the crotch line and that of the waistline. On the crotch line, I extended the crotch measurement by 1.5 inches and I'm using 1.5 inches because I'm making this pants for a child. If you're making this pants for an adult, you will use 2.5 inches or 3 inches depending on the size of the adults you are working with. But because I'm making this for a child, 1.5 inch is okay. Now I will use my free hand to curve the crotch depth like this. On the knee line, I divided the thigh circumference by 2 and I mark it. And I added 1.5 inch sewing allowance to it. I want this pant to really come out very free for this boy so that he can be very comfortable and play around when he puts this on. On this length of the pant, that is the hem line, I divided the round leg measurements by 2 and I marked it. Then I added half an inch sewing allowance to it. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point I just marked together. On this side of the length, I came in by 1 inch. This 1 inch I came in by is just to give this pant a kind of chip on the side. Okay, I connected this 1 inch marked on the length of this trouser all the way to the crotch line like this. Now I'll go ahead and use my scissors to cut this out. Here on the waistline, I came down by 1 inch, then I used my ruler to connect a slant line like this all the way to the side of this pant. Then I will use my scissors to cut it out. The front piece is ready, so I'm going to place this front piece on another folded pieces of fabric to cut out the back piece. This is what I have here. I have folded another pieces of fabric into two that I will be using to draft the back pieces, and I have also placed the front piece on the back piece. As you can see, on the back piece of this pants, I'll be using an elastic waistband. So on the waistline of this back piece, I marked 3 inches for the folding allowance. You can see that I have used my chalk to rule a line across. So this 3 inches is the folding allowance, and after folding, I'll be passing the elastic in between. So let's draft the back piece. When we get to the point where I will be passing the elastic band, you will understand better. On the crotch line, I extended the crotch depth by 1.5 inch. I marked that, then I came out on the waistline by 1 inch. I used my ruler to connect a straight line on the actual waist measurement to this 3 inches folding allowance that I left. Then I used my free hand to curve the crotch depth. On the knee line, I came out by 1 inch sewing allowance, and also on the length of this trouser, I came out by 1 inch allowance. Now I will use my chalk to connect the points that I just marked together. Then I'll cut this out. And that's all for the drafting and cutting of the front and the back pieces. To create the zipper fly placket, I have the pieces I just cut out from the pants when I was drafting. So I measured the width of these pieces by 1 inch, then I cut it out. Now for the second placket, I placed this piece on another piece of fabric like this, then I cut out the length of it, but this pieces is 2 inches wide. I'm going to be weaving out all the pieces that I cut out. So guys, I am done weaving all my pieces. Let me indicate the wrong face from the right face, okay? So I placed the front piece together like this, right side facing each other. On the crotch line right here, I came up by 1 inch, then I used my chalk to indicate that, or you can just place a zipper placket on it to get the actual placket length on the crotch, just as you can see me doing. I will take this to the sewing machine and stitch this point I mark, okay? I'll just stitch the crotch by this 1 inch right here. This is what I have after I was done stitching that. Now I'm going to turn this trouser to the right side, then I'll place the placket on the crotch line, just as you can see me doing, right side facing each other. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew this placket by 1/2 inch. This is what I have after I was done stitching. Now I'm going to spread the placket like this, then I'll place the zipper on it. Make sure that the zipper right face is facing the right face of the placket, okay? And I'm going to stitch the zipper on the placket. I hope this is easy. All you just need to do is to watch this closely and you will understand. I'm going to stitch the zipper and bring it so that you can see what we have. This is what I have after I was done stitching the zipper. Now this is the second placket. I'll fold it into 2, then I place it on the zipper like this. Okay, I hope you're seeing what I am doing. Then I will use my pins to hold them together, just as you can see me doing, and I'm going to stitch them together. I'll take this to the sewing machine and stitch them together. So guys, this is it after sewing the second placket to the zipper. The next thing is I'm going to fold the second piece of the pants, that is the crotch line, by 0.25 inches. That is 1/4 inch, and I'll just cover the zipper up like this. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. Just fold in the crotch line like this, just a small portion about 0.25 inch, and use it to cover the zipper up. Then I'll take this to the sewing machine and top stitch on it. This is what I have after I was done top stitching. I hope you can see the seam line there. I'm going to turn this over to the wrong face. Then I'll arrange the crotch line properly, and I will stitch the crotch line just to cover all the places where there is an opening. This is what we have after stitching the crotch line again, just to cover up where there is opening. Now I'm going to arrange the trouser piece like this, and where there is this fly, I'll just arrange it to cover the zipper. Then I'll use my chalk to just create that curvy line that you'll see. Okay, this curvy line that you see me drawing. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and just top stitch on it. This is what I have after I was done top stitching on the zipper fly. You can see how neat this is. Now to fix our pocket, I've already cut out pieces that I'll be using for my pocket. From the waistline, I came down by 5 inches and I make a mark there. Then on the waistline again, I went in by 2 inches. Then I used my chalk to create a curvy line like this. Now I'll use my scissors to cut this out. The next thing is I'll place my pocket piece beneath the trouser and I'll use my scissors to trace out the same shape on the pocket piece. Now I'll place the pocket piece on the trouser, right side facing each other. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and I'll stitch this part. But before then, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So guys, this is what I have after I was on stitching the pocket to the trouser, and I also did the same thing to the other side of the pocket as well. The next thing is I'll arrange the pocket piece like this. I'll fold the pocket piece into two, just as you can see me doing. I'll arrange it properly, then I'll use my pins to hold them together. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine and I'll go and stitch the pocket like this. You can decide to make a curvy line or you just sew the exact shape of the pocket. After sewing the pocket, I'm going to arrange the front piece like this and I'll top stitch on the waistline so that the pocket will stay together with the front piece. I will do the same thing to the other side of the pocket, and when I'm done, I'm going to bring it so you see what we've got. This is what we have after I was done stitching the pocket. You can see how neat this is. So now we'll keep the front piece aside while we work on the back piece of the trouser. For the back piece, I'll place the two pieces together, right side facing each other. Then I'll take this to the sewing machine and I'll stitch the crochet line. After stitching the crochet line, I'll fold in the waistline like this. I'll first of all fold it in a small portion like this, then I'll fold it again by 1 inch. Then I'll go and sew it. For the front part of the pant, I already cut out a band that I'll be using for the waist. The length of this band is 4 inches, while the weight of it is 7 inches, just enough that will cover the waistline. I opened up the zipper just to separate the two pieces. Then I place the band on one side of the front piece like this. When placing the band, make sure the band is 1 inch before the zipper so that when we are done sewing the band, the 1 inch will be for the button. I will take this over to the sewing machine and I'll sew this, and after sewing, I'm going to fold the band into two like this. Then I'll sew this side of the band. I'll do the same thing to the other side of the front piece. I'll simply place the band on the waistline like this, but in this case, I'll not be leaving any allowance for the button. Okay, I'll just place the band according to the waistline. Then I'll use my pins to hold them together and I'll take it to the sewing machine and I'll stitch this. And I'll also be folding the band into two like this, and I'll be sewing this side, that is the zipper side. For the back piece, I already sewed the waistline, that is where I'll be placing the band. And I have my elastic waistband here. This elastic waistband is a 1 inch elastic waistband. To know the measurement in cutting out the elastic waistband, you simply divide your waist measurement by 2. Okay, and when I did that, I had 10 inches, then I cut out the waistband. So now I have my safety pin here. I'll be hooking this elastic waistband to the safety pin and I'll pass it through the channel that I created on the waistline for the band. So I pass this elastic on this channel here on the waistline, and when I get to this end here, I will just arrange it properly and use my pin to hold the elastic down like this. Then I'll continue fixing the elastic, and when I go to the other end as well, I'll also be using my pin to hold the elastic so that it doesn't move back inside. I'll take this to the sewing machine and I'll stitch these sides down. To join the back piece and the front piece together, I'll simply fold this band allowance like this so that I'll top stitch on it later. Then I'll place my back pieces of trouser on this front piece, right side facing each other. Then I'll go ahead and join the sides. After sewing this side, I'll arrange the front and the back cross depth like this, midpoint to midpoint, and I'll sew this down to the length of the trouser. Okay guys, this is what we have after I was done joining the side, the crotch area, and I also went ahead to hem the length of the pant. Now I'm going to turn this over to the right face, and on the right face I finish up fixing the band. As you can see how neat this is. We are basically done with the sewing of this pant. So what I'm going to do next, and I'll be doing this off camera, is fixing the button to the waistline, and that will be all. So if you watched this video to this point, thank you so much. much. If this video was helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and if you have any question concerning this tutorial, please drop your question in the comment section and I will attend to it. Bye. See you all in my next one.